Okay.
Listen, it's historical down there. What am I going to tell them?
Okay.
Why, you're from Louisiana. Remoulade. Just call it stupid sauce. I mean, people name things crazy things. What do you want?
Jambalaya.
Stupid sauce.
You know what I mean. Just please.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you mentioned
Don't make me cast a spell on you.
you mentioned the mint juleps. Yes, that is a staple. I want to give you some twist on the mint julep.
Yeah.
The mint julep sweet tea.
Yes. Okay, listen. Here's the deal.
Yes.
No, okay, I'll leave it to the booze hound. Go ahead. I just had a word about mint juleps, but you go first.
No, that sounds delicious. That's
okay.
all.
Do you want me to say this about the juleps now or later? Okay, you can have
Go
one
ahead
of them.
now.
You can have one of them. And they're nice. They're delicious, but they're way too sweet. So you're better off making them at home where they don't charge you $18 a shot. Have one. They're tasty. Down there, Wilford Brimley's serving them. Diabetes. They're gross. So no one who goes to the Derby actually drinks these things. You're much better off
First timers.
Yeah, because like I said, it's diabetes. You'll get cold hands by the fourth race. You won't be able to bet anything.
Got the sugars.
It's a problem.
Well, let me give you one more twist, and maybe you'll try and like this one, Mike. It is called the Kentucky Mule.
Yes, it's excellent.
Yeah, the cross between the Moscow Mule and the mint julep.
Yeah, they use the bourbon instead. It's
Yep.
good. That
Ginger
one's
beer
good.
and fresh lime juice.
It was in a copper cup.
I mean, those will knock
You
you.
didn't know I knew that.
I knew you knew that.
But oftentimes with ones like those, you can only have one or two before it becomes
The
a
ginger
little
beer,
much.
you'll have a volcano in your esophagus.
Exactly.
Problems.
I have a dish here for
Gabagoo?
you. Just for you, Rico. I've been mentioning pimento cheese. Well, here's another one with pimento cheese.
What is the
It
thing
is
with pimento cheese?
Oysters, Rockefeller.
Yeah, it's good.
No.
He don't do seafood. So
I know,
he's out.
I'm messing with them.
If you
Oysters
want
Rockefeller is not seafood.
if you want the best,
Just so you know, Mike.
you're fine. It's okay. I know it's not your thing. The pimento cheese thing. I'll tell you this right now, David. It's not at Churchill Downs.
Yes.
It's just outside of Lexington in Versailles, a place called Wallace Station. They do a pulled pork and pimento sandwich. You eat on a picnic table. You're in the middle of Bumpkinville, horse country. Fabulous.
Oh, my Lord.
You can have half of it. You can't eat the whole thing.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Okay.
you better carve a hole in the seat of your car, if you know what I mean.
Red and white checkerboard tables.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But don't eat the whole thing.
More pimento cheese for you, Rico.
You'll be bleeping in a horse field to eat the whole thing of that.
The pimento cheese grits.
I'm out. Grits.
Just cheesy grits.
I don't like grits.
I don't do grits either.
You don't?
No. I do grits.
What?
I would do grits before I do the other one.
Oh, the oysters?
Yeah.
Like, that's Rico's hell in the afterlife, is being force-fed seafood.
You do realize that's not seafood, right?
Oysters Rockefeller?
Oh, no, I'm thinking Rocky Mountain. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never
you're
mind.
thinking of buffalo nuts.
I was like,
Slightly
what?
different.
Right. Okay, never mind.
What do you mean?
Neither one.
He said it the first time, like, maybe he just means because it's cooked and it's...
No. I'm
I
thinking,
got you.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I ain't messing with
Hard
those
pass.
either.
No, I'm not a grits person. No, I've never liked grits. It tastes like dirt, no matter how you cook it.
Oh, my wife's grits are amazing.
Okay, well, you
Yeah,
know.
we know. You got
That
4
did not
kids.
sound right. That did not. That did not sound right.
David, do you use butter or sugar?
Oh my gosh, that was horrible. I'm so that
Butter
does
or sugar,
not- Sugar. Oh my Lord, what did I just do? And then
And
one.
immediately, all your wife's friends right now. That group chat's going to be live.
Amazing grits. Very tasty, though. They're very tasty, so I know. He's got 4 kids.
And then one more for you, Kenny. It is the blackberry mint julep.
Just say yes to it.
I mean, yeah, but it's like all the other ones. I'll only have one.
You can
of
have one.
Yeah.
That's it. Kenny, the best thing you could do if you're at the Derby, just enjoy a beer.
I was about to say,
Just relax.
what do you like? Beer? That's it? Just
them. Yeah, something you can sip on long term.
But see, the difference for me is like if when I go and I'm gambling, you don't mix drinking and gambling. That's out the window.
Because I would
I'm
think,
there to play.
Because the Derby seems so fancy with the hats and all of that. I would just assume it was wine would be like the
Oh, there are
drink.
plenty of people knocking out, a little Riesling or whatever. That ain't my deal.
I mean, beer is the one that when they run the porta potties. That I would think that's
You're
your beer.
you're really locked in on what the Preakness used to do. You're really into this.
Well, yeah, you showed me. I was just like, that is real.
And
They're throwing cans at them.
Real quick, some of the dishes that you will see at the actual Derby this year will be the grilled beef tips with Kentucky peppercorn sauce. Yes. You have the pan-roasted chicken breast. You can get the grilled corn and tomato salad.
That's disgusting.
Okay, you know what, David? I want to end it with this. Mike, when you go, what is your go-to meal? Like when you're driving or you're flying there, you're like, you know what? Before we leave, we have to have this.
If I'm going to Keeneland, it's Wallace Station. Like it's an experience.
the meal. What's the meal?
The pimento pulled pork sandwich, and you split it with somebody you like. Churchill Downs, it's not even like, it depends where you are. Churchill's weird. It's like, think of if Ford Field had like twice as many different seating options. There's a zillion different areas that serve a zillion different things. It all depends what area of the track you're in.
Okay. I mean, I didn't know if it was like that one thing you're like, hey, before we leave, I gotta have this.
No, I promise you. No, like there's a place in Louisville I generally like. It's called Doc Crow's. Mm-hmm. I like that place a lot. But no, there's nothing at the track where you're like, no.
So
I ain't leaving.
So there's no melting moment sandwich.
Definitely not.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
That is your Kentucky Derby menu option.
How about them grits?
Brought to you by Mastercraft Heating and Cooling. The Pistons are looking for their first home playoff win since 2008. The Knicks in their way. Here, Game 6 at Little Caesars Arena tonight over on WWJ News Radio 950 at 7:05. Isaiah Stewart still questionable. He's missed the last 4 games. He did get some shots up and shoot around earlier, however. Malik Beasley says there's no place like home. The team has confirmed that Final Countdown will once again be used during intros. It's a whiteout at LCA. Each fan will receive a T-shirt on their seat back. The Tigers begin a 4-game series with the Angels tonight in Anaheim. Casey Mize and Yusei Kikuchi is the pitching matchup. Kikuchi has a 4.31 ERA through 6 starts thus far. Mize has been one of the best arms for Detroit, allowing just a single hit and 5+ innings of work in his last outing. Hear the game right here on 97.1 The Ticket, pregame at 9:10. Today also marks the day the Tigers reliever Andrew Chafin can opt out of his minor league deal if he chooses. After struggling in spring training, Chafin has figured it out in AAA, carrying a 2.13 ERA. MSU is parting ways with athletic director Alan Haller. He's been in the role since 2021. At the Corwell House Sports Desk from Little Caesars Arena, I'm Jeremy Otto. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
All right, 2 notes. After we get done, I've got an update for you on a major sports story. Then we're going to do our Derby draft, and then we're probably going to get right into the Pistons the rest of the show. Because here's the deal, and if you want to line up, you can. You're winning tonight. We open the show with it. You can go Odyssey.com rewind if you want that right now. We're going to get back into it. And if I'm being overconfident, you can tell me why. But I want to provide an update because Look, I admit it. If you are a fan of sports or you do a show like we do, you're gonna get swallowed up by kind of narratives at one point or another in your career, and you go along with something, and only in the post haste do you realize, damn, I should have thought clearer. Now, I've gotten better at that in my 40s than in my 30s, and certainly my 20s, where I was a complete maniac. The point I make is, I was on
never got make plays.
Truth. But I was on top of this one as a free thinker from the start, and I just like bringing it up, not to do I told you so, but to ask people, is it fair to rethink what you've been thinking for the better part of 3 months? And it was this idea that Nico Harrison is now a brainless, lobotomized moron who should be launched into space and never retrieved because he traded Luka Doncic. And before you yell at me and go, oh, what, you're bringing it up because they lost? No, I want to remind people of something. I actually watched the series where calling Luka a construction barrel on defense would be an insult to MDOT and all of their construction barrels. Luka is out of shape. Let me show you my surprise face. Meanwhile, LeBron James, in his 22nd NBA season, is attempting to put the team on his back at both ends of the floor. Luka's lost 8 of his last 10 games in the playoffs and has been morbid, whether he's not trying or can't try on defense. So why would I bring this up today? Did you hear what J.J. Redick had to say? Yeah. This is the best unnamed chair drop in history. Certain players are not in championship shape. We need to get in championship shape. You may as well have had
Looking
him
at you, Luka,
holding up a framed 8x10 of Luka.
Not going to say any names, Luka.
Now, I will concede the Mavericks should have shopped. But if they wanted AD as the centerpiece, the point I'm making is, can we please stop acting like Nico Harrison traded Michael Jordan and his work habits? They simply didn't want to pay Luka $500 million into his 30s when he looks like more like a guy headed to bowling league on a Tuesday than a high-end NBA player.
Because it looks like the Mavs got fleeced, and you didn't try. And Luka, he's going to be a Hall of Fame player, and you traded him to, of all teams, Mike, the Lakers. You just handed them the title because that's what everybody was saying when the deal went down, and we got, AD who's always hurt. And I'm like, well, ironically enough, he did get hurt, but I'm like, he's not always hurt, even though he did get hurt. But it was a point that at first when I heard the news, it had me scratching my head like, really, you traded him? But when you did a little bit of digging, you understand why. And I think that most people didn't go past the surface of, well, you saw the Stephen A screaming on TV, and it's just like, well, they must have got fleeced. And then you see the fans saying, fire him.
But that's my problem with the Stephen A type stuff. And look, I love the passion and I love big opinions. And I think you kind of owe it to your audience to, watch and have an opinion. I don't think it's good to go on the air and be like, hey, what did y'all think? No, but it's like Stephen A's covered the league for 30 years. There are so many intelligent basketball people. It was like what happened with Shadur Sanders. They all got lobotomized. And you're sitting here and going, dude, you know better. You damn well know why the Mavericks did this. And you know Luka's no saint. And it's like everyone just went along with it. And it was like when they did this funeral for Shadur all weekend. It was like Mel Kiper's psychological break. And everyone just went along with it. And it's like, would anyone stand up and just be like, hi, me in the back?
I think a lot of the meltdown, Mike, is being right. So it was when the Lakers got him, you just handed the Lakers a title. You just prolonged LeBron's career.
Cutscene out in the first round.
Right.
And again.
And they were the three.
Correct.
They had home field.
Luka was dreadful. So now the Lakers, and again, if Luka locks in and goes Rocky in Russia, Rocky IV montage, gets in shape, gets serious, sure, the Mavericks could end up looking really, really bad. But nobody knows the player better than the team who has the player. It's pretty clear. And now, all the hot takes of the last 90 days. Look, I'm not telling you Nico Harrison is going to recover from this, because in this world today, it's like you make one mistake and they want to end you. Nico Harrison built a really good roster. If you look at those players and they're healthy, that's the number 2 or 3 team in the West. Can you say that about the Lakers? Long term?
No.
So I wanted to bring it up because the finality of it, but when Redick hit Luka with a bus, that was pretty good stuff. David, ticket text. And David, if you want to make fun of the take, I said it 3 months ago. I'll say it today. Please feel free. I just thought it was pretty funny.
No,
also, F the Lakers.
There is no need to make fun of that take. Luka looks bad. In fact, I have your stat of the day. And the stat of the day is the Lakers' defensive rating with Luka Doncic on the floor in that series was 120.41. That would have ranked dead last in the NBA in the regular season.
When he's off the floor, it goes to 107.
Yes.
A 15-point per 48-minute differential when Luka's just dead versus on the floor defensively.
So he's reaching Javi Baez, old Javi status.
Javier Baez?
No, Javier Baez is who's playing now.
There was a play last night, and there's a video on X of him, not covering his man. The guy goes right by for a layup, and then he looks at his teammates like, oh, what happened? They're looking at him like, what do you mean what happened? You didn't move your feet, and the guy went right by you.
That's your guy.
That's your guy.
I have my guy. He's right here. I'm covering him.
It's pathetic. It's really bad, and then he gets hurt. Why does he get hurt? Yeah, because he's not in shape.
Well, see, this is where I wonder at being with the Lakers, and maybe LeBron becomes that type of guy and says, Luka, pack your bags. You're coming to live with me for a month. We got to work on this. Because LeBron, say what you want about LeBron. David spends a ton of money on his body to make sure that he's in the best shape. He's out there at 40 playing better than a lot of people half his age. So he does. So this is one where I would be impressed if LeBron said, if you're going to be here while I'm a Laker, you got to step up. You got to do this. We're working out together.
Also, for Piston fans, just a quick note, just something I've been saying. It's kind of getting reaffirmed. If you don't trust me, which is fine, you can trust this person, Shams Charania. I've been telling you, if you're a Piston fan, why this is such a big summer for the Pistons and why the East power structure is changing quickly. And I've been telling you, look, the Celtics are not going to stay together. And it goes deeper than just Wick Grossbeck needing to sell or they were going to go broke. They're in the second apron. So Shams Charania, quote, today, this is just now today, quote, the rest of the league is bracing for the Celtics to be exploring trade options this offseason. Like, they have to get under the apron. They're staring down the barrel. I think it's a $350 million tax bill. So better win the title. And then, yeah, you're going to have to retool.
What are you getting rid of?
Probably Jaylen Brown. That'd be my guess. You're not getting rid of Tatum. I mean, Tatum's right now, if Tatum wins a championship, he's already in the Hall of Fame. And he's already top 10 all time in scoring under the age of 28. You keep it Tatum, but I think everything else is in play. Now, listen, if you hold on to Brown, it means you'd have to have somebody for KP or somebody for, Al Horford's dead body or whatever it is.
So basically, if you keep Brown and Tatum, you become the Suns, where it's just a bunch of guys, hot dog vendors.
My point is for Piston fans.
Would you go after Brown here?
I love JB. So but he's not good enough to come to Detroit. Don't you know how this game works?
You know what?
He's not Lou Alcindor.
Remind me, I'm going to shake your hand in commercial break. Because, silly me. I did bring up a name, and I could just see the people already typing ticket text.
I don't like his box fade. Okay, I quit.
We could do better than him.
I think JB is fabulous. I think he's woefully underappreciated. He's done an unbelievable job. I love him. But, yeah, it's probably the way it would go. Remember when I said to you, like, hey, before the draft?
Yeah.
JB, Pritchard, 3 first-round picks to whoever gets Cooper Flag.
It's tempting, but
that's a Red Auerbach move right there.
Mike, it's very tempting, but I think whatever GM does that, you're going to be Nico.
Exactly.
Where all of a sudden, you gave away Cooper Flag, but look what we got now. It doesn't matter.
You're stupid with 2 O's.
Fire whoever.
248-539-9797. All right, remember, when you could look, prices used to be more in line. Well, the cost of keeping your home comfortable, that's gone up too. If your furnace or AC isn't doing its job, get it done right by the team at Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. Mastercraft has Generac and Honeywell generators in stock and ready to go. And this month, you buy a generator, get half off the installation of a furnace or AC, plus an extended 10-year parts warranty on that generator. Schedule your free in-home estimate today at mastercraftheating.com.
History had its gold rush, then came the oil boom. Now it's the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom. And with Xfinity Wi-Fi, it's booming. Streaming, booming. Gaming, booming. Video calls, booming. Even when your boss schedules a meeting that could have definitely been an email. Look, now you can get Xfinity Internet and mobile together in an all-in-one plan. It's the ultimate power couple. Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile gives you faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go. So get your Wi-Fi booming wherever you are. Now through June 23rd, new customers can get a 400 megabit Xfinity Internet with a free equipment and unlimited data. Boom! And get one unlimited 5G mobile line included all in one plan. All for just $40 a month for 1 year. So whether you're working, watching, or panning for Wi-Fi gold, it's one thing's for sure. Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with a stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra after mobile. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits per 330 gigabits data usage. Data usage thresholds vary. After 1 year, rates increase to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply to all services up to $143 a month. Actual speeds vary.
I love how Kenny just slandered the favorite. That was great.
Fake news.
Fake news. Jake Tapper. All right. So, David, we do this every year. I know the Derby is Saturday. Tomorrow's Oaks Friday. I'm not here. But look, we do our Derby draft. Now, the cost of admission, we're raising the stakes. I want you people to take this seriously. Whoever wins this gets free lunch for a week.
Really?
Free lunch for a week, and the other 4 guys got to pay the freight.
Okay.
And the reason this is fair, you're drafting, and it's the Derby, and I happen to think it's a wide open Derby. So away we go.
Yeah, a bunch of 30 to 1s.
You hate to see it.
I just got to pick the winner, right? It's just that easy. And that's what gets me lunch.
Or I was about to say, is it the winner or is it the?
I think we did it last year, where order of like the higher they finish, the more points you get on an inverse basis. So if you win, you get 20. If you finish last, you get 1.
Okay,
and it's on the inverse.
gotcha.
So your cumulative score over the 4 horses you select.
So if you got horse 2, 3, 4, and 5,
You're gonna win.
chances are you won.
Yes. David, what's the order of this stupidity?
Well, Kenny and I went through the order.
Oh, what is this, the Patrick Ewing frozen envelope?
Not at all. But Kenny is number 1. I am number 2. Evan is number 3. Mike is number 4. And Rico, you are last.
I mean, do you believe this? Do you believe this?
I'm out.
This
That's
was
just
before the lunch thing happened,
Out
by
the
the way. I
hat. It
didn't
was
know
just
that.
out of the hat. That's all it was.
Yeah, okay, where no one got to see it, David Stern. All right, let's get into it.
How cold was the envelope, Kenny?
So originally I was going to do this based on funny names, but lunch for a week changes my philosophy a little bit
You're
here.
a big sandwich guy.
So I'd like to politely disagree with Donald Trump about journalism. I'm just going chalk. Give me the favorite.
Listen, quality horse will sit off the pace. There's nothing
Great
wrong
horse.
with it.
What a horse.
What a horse.
Wait, who'd you take?
He took journalism off the board. Over to David Hull.
All right, then. Well, I
Cheating
will go.
scumbag.
Yeah, that does change everything when you change the. So I'm going to go sovereignty.
Ugh. I hate this horse, but that's fine. He'll probably beat me. All right, number 3. Evan Jenkins.
Oh, that is me. I like to have fun, so what screams fun to me? That's Tiz-tastic. Give me Tiz-tastic.
Probably shouldn't have cut the Derby podcast with you earlier, telling you had a future on this horse. You rat bastard. All right, I'll go with the 9, Burnham Square. Bred to run forever, off pace. Burnham Square, 12 to 1. Rico Beard, the double dip.
All right. I will go with Sandman and Rodriguez.
Sandman gets the right trip, Rico. You're going to be okay. Now, he's going to have a lot of ground to make up, but he comes with a wicked move. And he's a gray, genetically faster.
Oh, well, there you go.
All right. I hate this draft order. This is terrible. Give me.
You hate to see it.
Hate to see it. Can I select? I'm going to select a horse, and if he doesn't draw in, I get 0. But I want Baeza, the 21. By 9 a.m. tomorrow, I think he'll draw into the body of the race, and if he draws in, he's my pick to win the race. 12-1. Give me Baeza.
I'll just put it down. 21 is Mike.
All right. Well, there was an award-winning movie that came out years ago called Evan Almighty. So I got to stay with that theme and go with the one, the only, Owen Almighty.
We've really bottomed out, haven't we?
I like how Evan picks horses.
Yep. It's tremendous.
I like Grande and Sid. Oh, it's you.
Please.
I'm
It is
sorry.
me.
Yeah, please.
I mean,
It's your
I mean,
turn.
you two rigged. I mean, you two did the
How
drawing.
could I rig it? It's impossible.
Oh, we supervised it. Who's pick 1 and 2? Me and Kenny.
So I am looking here to the history of who's been in the money. So I'm going to go with the 10 post there with Grande.
Damn it. He just took Kenny's horse.
I got foisted. Give me Citizen Bull and Luxor Cafe. Luxor Cafe.
It's Luxor.
Whatever.
Citizen Bull is the fastest horse in the race. The problem, there's a ton of speed in this year's Derby. He's on the rail. Kenny's going to take pressure from the minute of go. The 7's interesting because unlike last year with Forever Young and the year prior with Derma Sotogake, you had form on those Japanese horses. They had run against American horses in the Middle East. Luxor Cafe, none of that. Total enigma, total mystery. Could be a star, could steal the whole thing, could be atrocious.
You do know how I feel about Mystery Box.
Well, you just drafted it. Congratulations.
Yeah,
All
or
right.
it could be a horse.
Is this back to me?
Back to me.
Why do I feel like we're getting screwed?
So,
Oh, David, it's your turn again now. Wow, how does that work?
based on the stats here with win percentage in history, I'm going to go with the 5 post here, American Promise.
God, it was Kenny's favorite horse in the POTUS promos.
I don't know
Yes.
what you're talking about.
All right, now over to Evan.
Well, if journalism is going to win, you got to think that his publisher is going to come in second.
Come on,
Give me publisher.
You are taking horses we discussed on the podcast. This is a rat move by you. He's fascinating. He's 0 for 7, but he qualified. He keeps getting better. He's an absolute bomb, and he's going to come running late. Who knows? Maybe the whole thing falls apart. All right, I got to be careful here, Rico, because Evan's taken every horse we talked about.
I'm flying blind.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. You know what? Give me East Avenue. East Avenue is not a bad horse. Some of the luster is off because he was supposed to win his last prep race and didn't. Give me East Avenue at 20-1. I don't love it, but I'll take it.
All right. We're now at the 30-1 horses. You know what? Give me the Flying Mohawk.
You can have it. Okay. This horse does not belong in this. You know who owns it, though?
Who? Is this
Jason-
a glue factory?
No, Jason Worth is a part owner in it.
Okay.
The former Philly.
Well,
He's
Mike-
in the show you refuse to watch, Race for the Crown.
You know what? I feel you're being very judgmental, so you're rendering judgment.
Yes. And if Render Judgment wins this race, I quit horse racing.
So
Okay.
I just basically picked Glue Factory and Elmer's.
Yeah, please don't say things like that. That's horrible. Is this me? Is this my last selection?
Yes.
All right. Rodriguez is gone. All right. Give me I love the way this horse ran in the Florida Derby, and he finished second or third, but I thought he ran massive. Probably is not going to be able to get away with on the lead here. Give me Neaquos, the Safi Joseph horse.
Oh,
the two.
Neaquos.
I know you did a promo about this horse. I'll leave that to you. Give me Neaquos, the 2 horse. He's probably dead on arrival.
All right, I think it's back to me. And since this horse is going to be flying so fast, you'll think you'll be watching a car race. Give me Admire Daytona.
Another Japanese horse nobody knows anything about. 30-1, could be 300-1, Evan. I got no clue.
How come they have American names?
I don't know.
How come there's 3 left and not 2?
Because
'Cause
Mike
Mike
went
took-
off
Oh,
the
Mike
board.
went off the board. I got
I
it.
took Baeza. I'm
That's
taking a
right.
chance because that's my favorite horse in this damn thing if he draws in.
All right, so I got 3 to choose from then.
Yes.
And if it makes you feel better, I'm stuck with the last of it. So, don't complain
wow.
about the draft order.
Poor baby.
I know, it's very bad.
Why are you going again when it's my turn?
Damn it.
You're last.
Wait, so there's 4 left.
So
Quickly.
Math is hard.
I'll go chunk of gold.
I believe he is being ridden by Mount Pleasant native, Jareth Loveberry.
I'm going Cold Battle and Final Gambit.
Cole Battle's got a great story if you look it up.
Wait, how'd you get 2 horses?
Because they cheated. That's how this works.
You gotta pick one.
You only get one.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, you like how he just, hey, here, it's like the old lady who leaves the candy bowl out at Halloween. Please take one. Kenny pours the whole thing in his bag.
Hey, Connor Stallions. Pick
Cold
one.
Gambit.
He just combined horses. You may need to combine them to
They're
for
gonna go
either
Cold
of them to
Battle.
win.
That's the one.
Okay.
Cole Battle's a great story. I don't have time to tell it to
Well,
you,
I'm
but
glad
it's,
because the 2 horses I picked, and this horse is dead.
listen. Lunch for a week to the winner.
Apparently, I'm going to be paying this.
No, I
You
got
slandered my last 2
I got
horses.
screwed. I ended up taking a horse that may not draw into the race. Evan just walked out. He's had enough. That's the Derby draft.
Render judgment. He's dead.
Consider it rendered. 97-1. FanDuel, first sportsbook app where you can bet the Derby right now. All customers get a no-sweat Derby bet. It means you get a racing bonus back if your bet doesn't win, like if Rico bets render judgment. The app is super easy to use, and you don't have to be a horse racing expert to have some fun. FanDuel.com/ticket. Get your no-sweat bet, Kentucky Derby. It's FanDuel.com/ticket. 21 and up, present Michigan. Opt-in is required. Verified FanDuel racing account required. Refund issue. Non-withdrawable racing site credit that expires 9 days after receipt. Max refund $10 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms. Racing.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Pistons fans, a word, if you don't mind. We opened the show with this, and I just, look, it's probably a little early for you to be in the car going to the game, but work with me. Am I overconfident, or am I simply on the pulse of the people? Unlike Jim Costa, who wouldn't say they're winning tonight, I'm guaranteeing they are. I absolutely feel in my heart Pistons are winning tonight. And I have reasons. It's not like just some stupid, oh, I got a feeling. It's Brunson and Hart. That didn't look like the play acting stuff that has been thrown out there, nor did it look like Brunson a couple games ago where you thought he was dead and then he came back, dancing around like Michael Flatley. Last game, oh yeah, he came back. He was moving different. He had an awful fourth quarter. And if you looked at the way the floor kind of torqued and what it did to his leg and high ankle, guys, I'm wondering if Brunson is just at the end. Then combine it with Josh Hart, who is one of the toughest guys in the league, but Josh Hart is incredibly banged up. And I just wonder if those two are compromised, what do the Knicks have? And I made jokes earlier, about whatever the guy, Miles McBride. He's terrible. They don't have players to go to. I like Cameron Payne can play a little bit. I don't mind him. But if you've reached Landry Shamet phase, you got a problem. But I want to know.
Payne is very
streaky.
Yeah.
He can come in, drop 11 in a minute and 30, or he's 0 for 6 and you want to punch him in the face.
Yeah,
I agree.
Right now, he's like your Malik Beasley.
Yes. So I just wanted to ask you guys the question. What is your emotional state headed into tonight's Game 6? Mine is complete confidence. And maybe I'll end up being wrong, but I'm not going to lie to you. Like, what am I going to do? Get on the air, Rico? Be like, oh, yeah, guys, you got to really be concerned tonight. No, I think this is going to Game 7.
I think if they win tonight and it goes to Game 7, that's why I will have the confidence that you have. If it goes to Game 7, they win the series because too much pressure will be on New York. The crowd will be too tight. The coach, everything, the players for the Knicks. But you have to win Game 6. In order to win Game 6, I look at a couple of things. One, you almost have to treat it as if you're in New York and not play up to the crowd and not get involved with the crowd and not try to do things to hype up the crowd. You've won your 2 games in New York because I do think you had that us versus the world mentality. You came back home. You've lost 2 games. And the stupid turnovers. Not good defense turnovers. I'm talking about throw the ball to the third row turnovers, and there's nobody there. You have to cut that down. You can't have the magical number, and can you at least keep it under 14 turnovers for tonight, and you give yourself a chance to win.
I'll tell you, town's all hopped up for Pistons hoops. It's disappointing. That's okay, though.
Well, I mean, they should. This is the biggest game at the LCA ever.
There's no question.
Yeah.
And you got it back from New York. You have the ability to earn a Game 7 that, the way the Knicks have played. Look, I feel bad because when I say this, most people can't sort through it and they think it's a shot. It's not. Knicks haven't played very well. That's not a you problem. And I also I don't think I give you a ton of credit for a lot of that. Now, if you want to say, oh, well, Assur's defense on Brunson, cutscene, 4 games with 30 or more to start the playoffs. The only guy who's done that is Jordan. Take it easy on labeling Assur Thompson, Gary Payton. The point I'm making is they've had weird no-shows. Tom Thibodeau's been an absentee coach. And then last game, Cat and Brunson played horrific.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Cat getting into the foul trouble really helped the Pistons out because he had to sit for a long period, and the backup center is just he couldn't make a free throw to save his life.
Mitchell Robinson shooting free throws is so painful.
Because you're sitting there saying you're an NBA player.
It's worse than Ben Wallace.
And I know we got other stuff to do, but it's like, how is it that you just can't go out and practice free
Rico,
throws?
he was a 68% shooter for his career. He's at like 40. Most of these free throws, they have no shot of going in. Why? They never get above the rim. I've never seen. It's crazy.
And you just hit the bottom of the net.
But I know they haven't won at home, and I know the Knicks, turned the series here, but I don't know that continues.
Well, I,
do
look
think
at it as, I mean, all 5 games, Mike, because I was laughing like it was like the Knicks and 5.5 points. I'm like, man, I'm taking the Pistons. Like every game, it's within a point or two. It's a possession, which is why I say if you're the Pistons, limit the turnovers. You get the extra possession. You take it away from New York, and you're fine. Don't give Brunson a chance to break your heart. Don't give Cat a chance to hit a 30-foot three. Don't turn the ball over, especially late in the game. Somebody help out Cade so he doesn't have to do everything.
Look, if Brunson and Josh Hart look great early, then this opinion's going to get thrown in the garbage.
You really think that they are not the same?
It looked different to me.
Because every time I think Brunson is done.
I know, it's the Paul Pierce wheelchair. I know.
He's the Undertaker. Nope, I'm back.
Yeah, and you might be right. And Lord knows these players get the best care in the world. And look, we saw Steve Kerr last night punt. I mean, I said it to Cookies earlier, and I'm not joking when I say it. There's a part of me where, depending on the status of Hart and Brunson, maybe you just say, you know what? Let's fire our one big bullet back at the Garden, give my guys 3 days, 4 days rest, and let's try to do this right. Because I'm telling you, if they get into this game again tonight and it's a war in the fourth quarter, you're right. I don't know what the Knicks will have left for Game 7.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Mike. It makes sense, except for the fact
it makes sense on paper. It's
no,
not something
no.
any coach is going to do realistically.
No, what Kerr did, because he has Game 6.
Correct.
So if that fails, he still has Game 7. If you're New York, you're risking it all on a Game 7. Pistons are coming in with all the momentum. Your crowd, everybody will be on pins and needles waiting for the collapse. Not waiting to celebrate, waiting for what was the reason, Tibbs, that you lost this series after being up 3-1?
Yeah. And again, the tenor in New York, and we can get back into it at 5 o'clock, the tenor has already changed to when Thibodeau is fired, not if. Mikal Bridges slander and trade talk. It's already a very negative tone. Now, again, I think part of that is you have a fan base in New York that thought they were going to sweep this team. Well, that was never going to happen. You know, to me, the Pistons, it was probably a 6-game series. Well, it could be a 6-game series. But I don't care about the right-wrong crap. I watched the series, and look, I think Pistons are winning tonight. I really, really do. But maybe I'm the only one who cares. That's fine. Hey, can 100 guys kill a gorilla? 248. I don't know what you guys are into, but we got a Game 6 tonight, okay? So take the blue pill, see if you can muster up some energy here to talk hoops, and away we go. Otherwise, I'm going to have David preview the Kentucky Derby till 6, and I'm leaving. 248-539-9797.
You won't.
That won't be entertaining.
You know what, David? You would have a listener of one. That's oxygen to him.
I'm David's biggest fan. You're his only fan. It's time to talk Victor's Home Solutions. It's very simple. Choosing the right roofer is a big decision. It's also a very difficult one. So what does it mean when I tell you they got great customer service and quality workmanship? Well, you get a customer concierge, to be specific. They are going to handle the project from start to finish, answer all your questions, give you quick follow-up. Installers, the standard is perfect. You can get new windows for your home as well. This is why Victor's, when they do work and they install a new roof, offers you a 50-year leak-free guarantee. So if it's time for a new roof or windows, you're covered. Right now, $500 off a new roof or home full of windows. Great financing options to make paying for the new roof or windows easy. And call for your free 21-point roof inspection or window estimate today, 734-773-1100, or online anytime at victors.com. That's victors.com. Straight to the people. Game 6 tonight. We're back in the groove with that. And if I want to know what your emotional state is. Are you like me where tonight I'm supremely confident. I will be genuinely surprised if you don't win tonight. Are you nervous? Now there's like something on the line. It's more than just arriving here, not getting swept, being competitive. I think you check those boxes wonderfully. Or maybe it's house money. There's nothing wrong if you feel that way, where you're like, this has already been one of the greatest seasons in Pistons history. Like this turnaround, the respect, exactly what I told you why I didn't want to play the Bucks or the Pacers. I want the main stage because guess what? America now knows Cade is the next, right? All of it. It's all good.
Especially if there's a Game 7 Saturday night in
Well,
New York.
here's also why it's house money. Because honestly, here are your two options. Cancun or the Celtics murder you. That's it. So you can be loose going into
the Celtics.
Yeah, no, you can't. I mean, listen, if 3 of our players die, sure. Let's go to the people, shall we?
Do it.
PJ, 97.1. PJ, what's going on?
What's going on, fellas?
How are you, sir?
Good. All right, I got a couple things for you.
Yes.
I'm going to say this. In the first quarter, in the first half, I have to see if they're hell-bent set on running that high pick and screen. I have to see the Tobias Harris first half masterclass. I have to see it because he's not going to show up in the second half. And then I need to see guys hit shots because if they're going to run the high pick and roll, Cade's going to get doubled and guys have to get knocked down shots. Otherwise, JB needs to stop running that same stupid high pick and roll and let Cade go one-on-one. And if they still double him, I need to see Cade be patient and let the double team kind of fan out a little bit, the same way Curry does, and the same way Ant does, and the same way all the high leverage players wait for the double team to kind of settle down. I just need them to play patient tonight, and I think they can win.
You know what's interesting too? I also not to nerd out, but PJ, I appreciate detailed discussion. So here's something I'm looking for: are the Knicks going to wake up that when Asor Thompson's on the floor, you don't need to guard him? Their refusal to just leave Asor and instead they're leaving people like Malik Beasley or Tim Hardaway. Like Tom Thibodeau, for all the flowers he gets being a defensive mastermind, boy, that would seem to be a basic one, especially in the fourth quarter.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't. I hope they don't wake up because if we get the Asor Thompson that we did last game, I think we've got a really good chance to win this game and the next game. But I just would really, really, really like to see Cade play a little bit more patient if JB is bent on playing that high pick and roll because it's just an automatic double team for Cade, and it takes the ball out of Cade's hand, and it's hard to get it back to him.
Yep. No, there's no question, and it was effective early in the series, but I think the Pistons have primarily made better adjustments. Cade has been more patient. And, PJ, part of this, too, look, you're going to need guys like Beasley and Harris and Hardaway. They got to hit the shots. Beasley especially. Beasley's playing for a contract, wants to stay here, wants to get paid. He's been, I don't want to say awful, he's been very underwhelming. Tonight would be a good night for him to actually step the hell up and get it going here now. He does a lot of woofing, a lot of talking. How about hitting a few shots tonight? You mind? Would that inconvenience you? The thing I can't get over, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. Dude, seeing Tobias Harris woofing anybody, I just can't.
Yes, but
that's the funniest thing.
It was deliberate woofing because he was trying to get Cat that fifth foul.
I know.
So I will allow that one to go. It was a little bit of fake bravado, but maybe he was putting the bait out there.
Whew, that was something. That was an experience.
Right.
Tom's on a cell, 97.1. Tommy, what's going on, bud?
Yeah, I'm doing good, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
So one comment, one question, I guess. And the one comment that what I've noticed, and it's really kind of grinded my gears with the Pistons defense, and I hope they can address it, is there's been this weird thing where they are giving up a lot of perimeter elbow threes to the Knicks and a lot of threes off rebounds, and I think that how Cat has been hitting a lot of threes. So I would love to see them address that, because I don't know how many times I was watching them like, oh, open on the elbow, perimeter three, like just they made it. And then my question for you is for you and Terry is, what have you seen out of this series from Jalen Duren, to where do you think he is part of the future with the pieces with Cade in this team, or is he someone that, as you're talking about trying to bring in that person to go with Cade, is he that person that you move?
So, all right, here's where I'm at, and I understand. I will take grief for this because I got into this before the playoffs. Look, it's not about, oh, you hate Jalen Duren. No, I like Jalen Duren, but I'm also not going to extend him and pay him $30 million a year. I don't want a center who is not a modern center, meaning.
You know what did it for me?
Go ahead.
That I think it was game 3, that pass where we could have tied it.
That was a tough spot. All right. You know what did it for me, Tom? The first couple games of the series where they're blitzing Cade and Duren gets the ball at the free throw line, and a Şengün is just going to go, okay, 3 points. Duren's going, help me, I'm poor. Like, look, he's a shot. He can block shots, rim protector, rebounder. You know what he is kind of right now? He's kind of like when he was with the Hawks, or Houston rather, welfare Clint Capella. Where, look, he can play a role, and he's not bad, but you will have to address every position around him in order to bring out the best in him. Tom, I get worried paying a guy like that because ultimately the ball's always going to find him in late games, and he's not going to be able to help you.
And I don't think his D is strong enough to where, like, how the Mavs are built with Gafford. Like, he's not on that level.
No, I was going to say, don't have Trace Jackson going after him either late in the game.
No, so Tom, it's tough because if you say that, people go, oh my God, I don't hate him.
No.
I like him, and he's 21. But the thing is, you're also in year 3, and I'm not seeing a development from the offensive side. Certainly not where he's going to take and make 15 to 18-foot jumpers. I mean, forget about the idea of him stepping back and hitting threes. But if you don't mind having an ancient-style center, that's fine. It's going to come with a cost.
Look, I know it was 20 years ago, Mike, but Ben Wallace was kind of, the one-dimensional center. And when it came time to pay him, they didn't. They let him walk.
Now, if you got the right stretch 4, and look, we don't need to go here right now, but case in point. Forget about Lauri Markkanen. Oh, he's a cat enthusiast. This is Detroit. Okay. Put Zion on this team. Do you understand what that would do? A power forward who you can run isolations for late game, and Jalen can be that weak side board crasher, rim runner, back artist.
No, Mike, Zion would be root for radio because most people right now will tell you he's washed up, he's overweight, and he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, and
will not help this team.
Here's what I'll argue with: Lethal Weapon 3 pricing, change of scenery, winning culture. We ain't putting up with that. So if you want to win and reclaim your career, and by the way, he's only on a 3-year deal now, you put him here, and him and Cade get to play 2-man game in the fourth quarter. Now all of a sudden, Jalen's guy is bailing, which means Jalen becomes the ability to roam and be a destroyer. Then I can piece it together. So look, we can keep him. The problem is the cap. What are you going to pay him? And then it's the whole conversation of, oh, Malik Beasley wants his money. You're going to hand out 4 at 84? And you're going to hand out 4 at 120? Where's money coming from? So you got it. These are decisions. They don't need to be made right now.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
But I want to be thoughtful when Tom asked me that question. It's not like or dislike. I like. I don't love. Therefore, David is yelling behind the glass. I can't hear you.
I was just negative back here, and I don't want to be negative. I'm sorry.
About
They're going
me?
to win tonight. They're going to win tonight.
Okay, then. We'll get to the callers momentarily.
You're not thinking of grits?
Okay. Guys, if you were listening earlier, you understand. And if you don't, that reference won't make any sense. 97.1.
Brought to you by Hamilton Chevrolet. We're just about 2.5 hours away from Game 6 between the Knicks and Pistons at Little Caesars Arena. No one listed on the Knicks injury report currently. As for the Pistons, Isaiah Stewart still questionable. He was going through some shooting drills at shoot-around earlier, however. Here the game over on WWJ News Radio 950, the pregame show at 7:05. Atlanta Hawks forward Dyson Daniels was tabbed the NBA's most improved player yesterday. I asked Tim Hardaway Jr. whether it should have been Cade. Cade, Luka Doncic, and Oscar Robertson are the only players in NBA history to average 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists through their first 5 career playoff games. According to Shams, Tyrese Halliburton's father, John, will not attend the squad's home or road contest for the foreseeable future. The decision came from the Pacers front office, and he agreed to it. Halliburton was nose-to-nose with Giannis after the Bucks' Game 5 loss to Indiana to end the series. The Tigers continue their long road trip tonight. The next stop, the Angels. LA has struggled out of the gate, holding just a 12-17 record. Star outfielder Mike Trout was looking good and healthy to start the year, but he left yesterday's game with left knee soreness. After the game, he said, quote, "When it happened, I knew it was just like a weird one, but now, after getting treatment and stuff, I should be a little better soon." In other MLB news, the Yankees have transferred slugger Giancarlo Stanton to the 60-day injured list. He's yet to play a game this season. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk from Little Caesars Arena, I'm Jeremy Otto. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Highly nuanced. Poor Saffy Joseph and that horse. All right, Pistons are the conversation. Yes, we've had some fun with Derby stuff. The question is just simple. What is your mindset going into tonight? For me, I'm supremely confident they're winning. They're winning. I just feel Brunson and Hart, something changed in that last game, and it's not the Paul Pierce wheelchair. It looked like he was really hurt. And it was the only bad fourth quarter he's had. Josh Hart played no role late. I think they're hurt. And the Knicks don't have that margin. We always talk about the margin when it's what we need to win. All right, well, what do the Knicks need to win? Well, when you're only playing 7 guys, 2 of your studs can't be hurt. We'll see tonight. But if I got to look at 23 minutes of Miles McBride, who's a bum, well, then guess what? Knicks are dead. You're dead. You cannot have Mitchell Robinson and McBride and Cam Payne playing 60 minutes. Can't happen. So from a Pistons perspective, I'm supremely confident. But if
I was about to say, are you as confident if Brunson and Hart plays?
No, they could play. It's about how they play.
No. I'm saying if you find out that, you know what, no big deal, we're ready to go. Good.
Oh, no, then you're in a whole lot of trouble. But I just don't. I can only go by what I saw. They could come out in the first 7 minutes tonight and play with their hair on fire, and you go, well, that opinion's in the garbage can.
No, see, the reason why I asked you that, Mike, is because I'm always leery when we can win if the other team is minus players, because that means, well, you're not that good.
I don't think the Pistons are that good. They're good enough. They're good enough to compete for sure. But it's about, okay, how do I get over the hump and overcome a 3-1 deficit? Rico, it's not an insult. When you're down 3-1, you have a 5% shot to win that series. Well, you got the first game. Now your job is get to a game 7. I'll take it any way I can get it, which is like, look, if they're less than 100%, that's not my problem. I don't think Piston fans need to worry about that. It's more, Rico, they're not the Cavs or Celtics where it's like, it's all about us. No, you're going to need some help along the way. Who are we kidding? So I don't think that's an insult.
Okay.
Look, if you're nervous about tonight, if you're confident, or look, David, you're negative. I don't understand your negativity, but I'm happy to listen to it, I guess.
No, it's I don't take it as negative. I just take it that they have not won a home game this series, and they're neck and neck. This is the same record of road and home in the regular season. They just don't seem to use the home court advantage the way they should. and it continued in the playoffs. So I just am not confident in that part that they win tonight. I think it's over tonight. I'm already prepared to just clap at home and thank you for the season. It's over.
Just no chance.
Close game. So chance, sure, but I just don't see it happening.
See, for me, it boils down to your turnovers. You cannot give the Knicks extra possessions. That's how they were beating you. That's how they got up 3-1 because just bad turnovers. Not good defense, but just what are you throwing the ball to? What do you mean you dribbled it off your foot? What? You can't have those type of turnovers, especially in the fourth. That, to me, keep it limited to 14 or less. You give yourself a chance. The other thing, from the head coach down, and it sounds weird because you're at home, but you got to block out the crowd. You can't let this crowd influence and dictate. Yes, if they can get loud, great. You made a shot, great. But don't play up to the crowd. Don't do things for the crowd. I think you played your better basketball at Madison Square Garden because it was truly us versus them. I don't know if they can handle the success of people patting them on their back.
248-539-9797. Let's get to the people. Herb is up next. 97.1. Herb, what's going on, buddy?
What up, fellas?
Hey.
Listen, I think that the Pistons' youth is what's going to take them through because Tom Thibodeau teams have a habit of petering out because how hard you run them during the season. You know, he's notorious for the 2 and 3 hour practices and running his team hard. And all his teams can be successful during the season, but in the playoffs, they always seem to peter out. So I think that the Pistons, if they can cut down the turnovers, and I think they're going to come out running tonight. So if they run by the fourth quarter, them guys are going to be tired because they're not playing that many people. So I think the youth is what's going to take them over. And they say that's the knock against them is inexperience. But I think that's what's going to get this game for them because, like I say, Tom Thibodeau teams have always faded in the playoffs because of how hard he runs them during the season.
Yeah, I think the youth might be an advantage for the Pistons because they don't know what they don't know. They don't feel any pressure. They don't. That's their secret weapon here. So Herb, yeah, I mean, look, the youth goes out the window once you prove you can compete with somebody. You know, there hasn't been a game where they've gotten their doors blown off. And even in game one, when there was the 21-0 run, that was the only time this series where I felt like, okay, the youth caught up to them. But they bounced right back. Mm-hmm. They also were up in that game. And look, even the game they lost 94-93, and everyone focuses on the call. Look, they blew the 11-point lead, but it wasn't youth. You had veteran players making some bad moves there, too. So, Herb, look, exactly. I think both things can be true. I just don't think it's fatigue with the Knicks. I think you're dealing with actual injury, but whatever. It's semantics, and none of it is Detroit's problem.
Fair.
It's just not.
No, it's fair.
But for Thibodeau, oh, no. I mean, if he loses this series, he never coaches in the league again.
Right, but I also need –
it's a disgrace.
I need JB to stay focused. I need JB not to lose his cool.
I want to review 3 minutes into the game just to see your head explode. It's 2-0. Review.
I don't like how you flipped the ball up to start the game.
What? Review. Let's go to Victor, 97.1. Vic, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Mike? How you guys doing?
Excellent.
Good. I agree. It takes turnovers going to be the key for me, and Rico was right on it with the 14 turnovers, but I'm going to take it a step further. In the fourth quarter, we can't have no more than 3. Anything over that, we're losing possessions, and you're spot on again about Duran. In the offseason, he needs to develop an offensive move. Left hand, right hand, something. He is a liability in the fourth quarter if he's not getting alive. But I'm 75% we can win, but I'm afraid of a turnover battle, and I'm even more than Rico. Fourth quarter, anything 3 or higher, I'm going to be nervous. That's my point. Thank you guys for taking my call.
No, Victor, I appreciate the call. I agree with you. You because you don't want to give Brunson that extra time with the ball in his hand and extra possession because those are the ones that hurt you. Those are the ones that kill you, or he kicks it out to Cat. Because for some reason, man, Karl Anthony Towns in the final 2 minutes of a game is just deadly, no matter where he's at on the court.
I agree. I thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Yeah, you got it. And hey, This is still a series where 5 of the top 6 players in the series are Knicks. It's just up to them if they want to play. Do I think the Knicks have played particularly well? No, I don't. That's how they're in a game 6 where they're underdogs. They blew the opportunity to close out. And if they don't close out tonight, no, I don't think that team's got they don't have the guts to do it, to close out the Pistons. If the Pistons get to a game 7, you should have all the confidence in the world.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because, at that point, they're ready to collapse. At that point, they're playing scared. The Knicks will be playing not to lose rather than to win a series, if that makes sense.
Very fair. All right, we'll be timely. We'll get to your phone calls in a moment. 248-539-9797. All right, weather has all of us getting ready to get on the road and go do things. Moran Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 selling Chevy dealer for 24. You need a truck that works as hard as you do. Moran, 25 Silverado LT Crew Cab 4x4, $298 a month, $14.95 down. Or go green with the Doug Karsh Kale Edition, Blazer EV, LT all-wheel drive, $271 a month, 0 down, and they throw in a pallet of kale. What a deal. Everyone gets employee pricing. Moran Chevrolet, where you always get the best price, period. Visit MoranExpress.com or stop by on Gratiot or the 15-mile in Clinton Township. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. David, you just had a small report there before we get to the callers. This should cause some joy in Tigerland.
Yeah, Kenta Maeda is expected to be designated for assignment in the coming days.
And in other news, he's cleared waivers. All right, he's gone. So let's just keep it moving.
That's what I was like. Is he just sent down or is he gone?
Yeah, gone. I can just tell you he's cleared waivers. If he doesn't clear waivers, whatever team signs him needs their head examined. All right, to the people. Actually, ticket text first.
You mean your Yankees don't need him?
We're not that destitute.
I'm kidding.
Our pitching's a problem, but we're not. You know who might? I'll tell you what. Baltimore might take him. Really? That's how bad their rotation is.
You ain't lying.
Their rotation, whoa, buddy.
They really invested in their young roster there.
Go ahead.
Hey, I love our Pistons. We will win tonight, but that's all. No way the refs let us win in New York on Saturday.
Okay, you know what? At what point do we stop it with the refs?
Never.
At what point is it just, you know what? Go out there and play. You've gotten a lot of calls, Pistons fans, that they have not called. I know you don't see it, but they've let both teams play. That bothers me because that to me says that you don't believe in your team. You think that the refs have it out for you. Signed every other team in the NBA.
Jason in Heartland says, just imagine how the Pistons will look next season once Ja Morant gets here. Ooh, no, thank you. Another person says, I'm excited about tonight's game. I think they can still win this series. They definitely have to win tonight. Well, yeah, of course.
But I do think if they win tonight, they have zero pressure, and the Knicks will be playing not to lose the series instead of trying to win.
Let's go to Scott, 97.1. Scotty, what's going on, bud?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good, pal. What's on your mind?
Heading down to the game tonight. Couldn't agree with you guys most. Mike, I'm super confident for tonight's contest. Also, Rico, you're spot on. You can't rely on the refs to win you a basketball game, and you have to limit the turnovers. If we don't turn the ball over, we give us more possessions. Also, Cade is going to need that supporting cast tonight when he gets doubled. Like you said, Beasley and Hardaway are going to have to knock down those threes and just thrive off the energy. Don't play into it, but take advantage of it. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, Scotty, you got the gift of like Asor stepping up with 20 points out of nowhere. Who's going to be that tonight? What role player steps up and gives it to you tonight? Because you don't have another star. You're going to need somebody to just do the job, and I don't know who it's going to be. Hell, they probably don't know who it's going to be.
Yeah, it's kind of it could be Tobias, it could be Beasley or Hardaway. Also, in Game 3, the refs aren't going to make that call at the end of the game to determine the ball game. That's just not going to happen. We just got to be better. We got to play better defense and take care of the basketball. I think we come away with a victory tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, if there's two X factors, Scotty, I'm with you. Is who's going to step up for the Pistons, and then I don't want to say legacy game, but because that's ridiculous with this type of player. But because of what the Knicks gave up to get him, if Mikal Bridges doesn't wipe that stupid smile off his face and actually guard somebody, I thought Mikal Bridges' defense this series has been trash. And his offense, forget about it. It just depends. Mikal Bridges, if he doesn't do something to get the Knicks over the hump here and they lose this series, he may be on the way out the way people in New York are talking.
Maybe. I think he's definitely gone.
Okay, then. Rico hates Mikal Bridges.
No, I actually like him, but because you gave up so much to get him, the expectations went up so much, and he's not delivering.
I don't like his defense. For a guy who's a noted on-ball defender, I don't think he's done a very good job at all this series.
No.
OG, that's a different. OG Anunoby's D has been great. But yeah, I think it's X factor. Who steps up for you? Tonight has to be a Bridges game. They need more from him.
Bridges, he's picked his spots for defense, but you're right. Consistently not there.
No, you hate to see it. See, it's fun for me because I hate the Knicks. So I'd rather play the Pistons. Sorry, not being disrespectful. I'm just shooting you straight here now.
I get it. I understand.
Sounds a little disrespectful. A little bit.
I'm sorry. We're the defending NBA champions.
You're trying to repeat. I get what you're saying.
Listen, our players need a little rest. I figure it'd be an easier series. What do you want?
I'm just saying.
Buddy, I got news
Underestimating
for
the
you.
Pistons?
This gym class hero stuff, that ain't going to work against us.
Yeah, I would love it. We get extra experience, and they continue to go. That's fine with me. I'll take that trade.
Yeah, David, go to Boston. You'll Modern Pastry or Mike's Pastries. You'll love it.
I'll
and then
take
get
the
back on
trade
plane.
all day.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Win the series, but you're not beating us. You beat us, that's the worst loss in the history of the Boston Celtics. Period. I might make that a worse thing than when Len Bias died. If the Celtics lose to this Pistons team, it'd be that number one tragedy, and then Reggie Lewis dead, and then Len Bias dead. That's how bad a loss to this team would be. Wow.
Because at that point, I guess you're wishing that the franchise just dies. 'Cause you just,
Then just shut the team down like MSU football. Call it a day. All right, we'll go to Dave, 97.1.
So dark.
Dave, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, Dave.
Good. This is Dave from Philly Nice. I want to talk about the national media. I'm really tired of all the whining about what's wrong with the Knicks. I'm just sick of it. But I did hear Stephen Smith say something that the Pistons are here to stay. And one of the gentlemen on the show said the Pistons should be 5 games and over. So they're getting respect limitedly. But I can't wait till they knock them out and listen to the whining about the national media. I'll love it. That's my take, and I'm confident about tonight.
Yeah, and again, look, you got to understand the way it works with the national media. Now, part of it is what's true, all right? I mean, you don't have to care. You don't have to watch the national media. But a conversation about what is wrong with a team that is supremely talented than the opponent, that's a relevant conversation. But I understand your frustration. But as far as the Pistons earning the respect, it's earned. It's why I wanted to play the Knicks. You don't want to be on NBA TV like the Celtics were the other night, and they had like Rico calling the game. It was awful when they were playing the Magic. I go, who are these people?
I thought about that because I was like, wait, where's the Celtics? It's on NBA TV.
Yes! Standard def.
Yes!
Meanwhile, the Pistons were at the main stage, and what the Pistons have established is they are to be respected.
They are to be, and the fact that Cade has showed up in every game. It wasn't like, oh, it was just the one hit. Like every game, it's Cade. Now, who else can help out? So nationally, yeah, he's becoming that guy. And I do think that you probably got some free agents saying, we're talking to their agents saying, I can go to Detroit and be that second guy.
Here's the other thing. I'm going to say this, and oh God, I'm just not going to lie to you guys. Okay. I've reached a point in my career, I'm actually convinced. Like, I'll take it to my grave. There are members of the national media who simply don't watch sports. And they just say things.
Really?
Like, I mean,
at all?
Like,
or just like their favorite team.
Well, Shaq already admitted it. We've already seen it.
Here we go. Now we're naming names. Like when it comes to certain things.
They're going to be at Auburn Hills tonight with the entire set.
And Chauncey's going to coach. You know what I mean? It's just you hear certain things and you go, all right, look, if you don't watch, bad enough. You don't need to have this level of an opinion. You could just skirt around it a little more. And then you just hear people go in on certain things and you're like, all right, you are telling the world you're not watching.
I think the Shaq thing is also a trickle down of like exactly what you're talking about. This is happening across the media, and it's trickling down to guys like Shaq.
Yes. And my problem is this. When you've got to do everything, like I can forgive some things. Like if you're doing a show that covers all sports all the time, you can't watch everything all the time. Cool. Something's got to come in last place. I'm honest with my audience. Last place for me is hockey. Why? Because I ain't got time and no one cares. Shout out Yzerplan. The point is, when...
Awful take, terrible take.
No, but Kenny, you know this. I watch plenty of their games. I don't watch all of them. That's an impossibility in my life. Just like it's an impossibility to watch all 82 Piston games. But when I'm watching national television, and you're up there making well into the 9 figures, and you say some ish that is bad if I was at a sports bar, that's where I start to go, come on. I know you're not watching. Shout out Chauncey Billups. Okay, then. Like, come, please.
We're going back to Auburn Hills, aren't we?
Right.
You can. Nobody else will be there.
I thought Dave Bing was great in the last series. Okay, then.
Oh, the way Grant Hill shot that 3, man, it was fantastic.
Let's go. Let's go to Kirk, 97.1. Kirk, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, boys? How are you?
I'm good. What's up?
Confidence level, 75-80% that they're going to win.
Okay.
I'm just feeling it tonight. Crowds come through, they're going to get there. I want to know if we can go back to Duran for a minute.
Sure.
I'm under the impression that this kid is – I love him to death. He plays his ass off, but he's a piece that you put in a deal to get a guy that can do what he can.
Yeah.
And I go back to like what you said a few weeks ago about a guy that you mentioned a while ago that is spot on perfect for it. You call the Jazz and you see what it takes to get him.
Oh, Markkanen? Yeah, and again, I don't think he's the toughest hombre on the block, but his skills, and you put him with a guy like Cade instead of a guy like Colin Sexton or some of the other bums they got in Utah. Yeah, Kirk. And again, Danny Ainge is a goofball. He ran my team for a while. Danny Ainge is going to ask you for 38 picks and the rights to the Gordie Howe Bridge. You may not be able to get something done, but yes, you make a call on a player like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, take all the picks. We know how we feel about that. I don't care about them. Go ahead.
I'm with you there. But no, look, Kirk, anytime you have these conversations, fans rightfully get defensive about their own guy. If there's no attack, I just wouldn't run to pay him.
Yeah, but what you said, though, is true. Like, you can't have a guy, look at the team still left in the playoffs. You can't have a big man that can't hit a 10-foot jump shot.
Right.
It
Now,
just doesn't work.
And here's the problem. As long as Asur Thompson is a part of your future, well, at a minimum, which one of you is going to get a game? Now, Asur, maybe he takes the summer, he shoots 5,000 jumpers, goes Mamba mode, and he comes back and he's the league's ultimate 3-and-D guy, Kirk. Great, then it fixes a problem. But what I can't do is in closeout games have Thompson and Duran on the floor at the same time.
No, even if he was a little more offensive-minded like his twin brother, I can live with that.
They're different players.
I know.
And look, Thompson's defense is good. His effort is good. He's a hyper athlete. There's no dislike. But everything, the difference between me and most people, you're right, Rico, I don't allow myself to be happy with little fun things. Everything I want my teams to do has to be directed at raising a banner. How do the moves I'm making, do they put me closer to a banner or not? I don't care about making the playoffs. I don't care, like, if the Pistons come back next year and they're the 5 seed and they lose in the first round, like, that does nothing for me.
No. This is the only year where you get to celebrate, hey, we made the playoffs, just like with the Lions last year. Hey, you made the playoffs and you won a game. Right now, you won. Not going to complain no matter what happens. But after that, yep, the bar has now changed.
It's also the mark. And I know now isn't the right time because it's game 6. But the one thing I'll say to you is, like, and I openly, I understand it. You should hate the Celtics. I was raised a Celtics fan. I'm sorry. The point is, the Boston Celtics and their trademark throughout the history of that organization, anything but a banner, unacceptable. And they've made brutally difficult moves. They've traded fan favorites. They have guys that have spilt blood in that city. They didn't let Paul Pierce retire as a Celtic. That's almost stabbed to death. They don't give an F. They're going to make the move. They traded Kendrick Perkins at the height of his popularity, and he was an insanely popular Celtic. The Pistons have to have that approach. Cold-blooded. If you don't have an assassin running your team, you're headed no. Go ahead.
To be fair,
ironically enough, you have the Alaskan assassin.
And I agree with you. You're right. But you have 18 championships and we have 3.
Look, you'll get there someday, Spank.
3 more than some teams have.
Let's be fair. Let me be fair to you. Those banners came before, like, the civil rights movement.
But when you build it like that, that's the franchise is going to have a killer instinct like that.
Right. And look, I'll go to my grave. The Celtics have left several championships on the table.
You're
now.
right.
Bill Russell and Bill Walton, long time ago.
Exactly. And even look, with the big 3 the Celtics built, if KG doesn't blow his knee out in 2009, they win that one. Then they go 2010, they lose game 7 to the Lakers. Perkins doesn't play, and Ray Allen looked like he owed the mob money. Not that it still bothers me.
He went full John Starks.
Okay, then. Here's Rico with legal copy.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
Personal growth.
Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service. Get green, stay green with Natural Way. Right now, hey, guys, the weather will be getting warmer. That means your lawn will start to blossom, and you don't want to see dandelions at all. You just want to see green grass. That's why you need to call Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service right now. Call 888-GET-GREEN. Tell them Rico from 97.1 said to give you a call. Why? Because they're going to hook you up with a full lawn program, and you get free grub control. But you got to mention my name. Look, the warm weather's on its way, like I said. So are the weeds. Dandelions will rob your lawn of water and nutrients. Stop the dandelions before they go to seed. Plus, it's not too late to treat for crabgrass because by the time you see the crabgrass, forget about it. It's over. You got to wait until next year. Call Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service right now. 888-GET-GREEN. That's 888-GET-GREEN, or you can go online at naturalwaylawn.com.
All right, what was it the Freep did yesterday? It was a disaster. I don't even know what this is.
It's not necessarily a disaster, but the free press did something that was interesting. All right, because all the rage these days is AI, right?
All right, what was it the Freep?
Northville Lumber, we talk about them all the time, largest Trex decking outlet in the country, and Northville is Michigan's Trex Superstore. They stock all colors of Trex decking, railing, lighting all the time, and they have it at a price you want. Look, we know our summer months are very, very fragile. Get your deck built. Get outside and enjoy it while you can. Call Northville Lumber today, or better yet, stop by, see the showroom, take home some samples. You can call Northville Lumber, Michigan's Trex Superstore today, or go to northvillelumber.com. That's northvillelumber.com. We have some breaking news before we. I got to get to one other thing. David, you're going to have to make an addendum. One of Rico's horses has scratched from the Derby draft. Just breaking now, Rodriguez is out of the Kentucky Derby, which means my sleeper selection, Baeza, is in. Keep an eye on Rendered Judgment.
So I'm going to take the last horse that didn't get drafted
Correct.
in Final Gambit.
Keep an eye. Rendered Judgment has a
out.
quarter crack.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question. What time is the party at the Canadian Club Terrace postgame tonight? We're kicking it like it's 09. Come on. What time? You're damn right your dad drank it.
So at
what
the end
time's
of
the postgame show party?
Wait. So at the end of the game, Kay's going to walk over and spray paint a number, an X over the number?
Yes. Exactly that. Is Sheila E. and her drum going to be performing tonight?
No, George Clinton.
Bringing out all the stars. Also, are we going to get 700 shots of Jalen Rose? It didn't play here.
I would like for them just to show some of the footage when he was a Piston.
That's kind of my point, but all right.
No, right. It's like.
But then again, when the next best celebrity you have is David Allen Greer, it's not 1994.
Hey, Men on Films was fire.
Right. 1994.
30 years ago.
Hey,
40 years ago.
It lasts the test of time.
It's hilarious.
It's the reason why there's a Super Bowl halftime show.
It is hilarious.
Was
You're
Men
right.
on Films. Did
You're
you
right.
know that?
CT in the house. You're right.
Yeah.
David Allen Greer.
Went to Cass Tech.
We can do better than this, can't we?
In Detroit, probably not.
Okay, then. All right. I also, it's a bad look when I have to look at Ben Stiller.
Well,
not a Detroit celebrity.
Breaking news.
There's Dan Campbell.
Yes.
Jonas Jerebko will be in the house
The
tonight.
Swedish Eagle is back.
All right. And you'll probably get Dan Campbell.
What about DJ Rob C? Can we get a Charlie V sighting tonight?
Ben Gordon.
Yeah. Lord knows he didn't show up when he actually played here.
Right. We don't want him now. We don't want him at all. Wow.
That was a great free agency.
Noted
that summer.
Pistons legend Jerome Williams courtside tonight.
Oh, the
Junkyard
JYD.
That's right.
From
Georgetown.
That's an easy one.
I know. I thought maybe I can catch him.
Oh, that's right. All right, David, couple ticket texts, or we got Rieger?
Yeah, we have Rieger and Wojo down at LCA.
Oh,
It's a big event. We got Woj.
By the way, here for his 20 minutes a week. All right.
He's back from New
Hello,
York.
more than an hour. By the way,
I heard Wojo had to leave early in the show.
yeah, we've been told Josh Smith will be making an appearance tonight.
And Corliss Williams.
Yes. You guys missed those two.
Yeah, the big nasty.
We're kidding, of course.
Wow.
What about Walter
What?
Sharp?
We're
Tonight,
kidding.
tonight
You guys-
courtside, Mehmet Okur.
All right, see, you started
Sharp.
it. Now we had to add in.
Well, what about Timothy Chalamet, that dude that plays Bob Dylan? He was
Yeah.
here for game
And
3.
they're not from Detroit. I'm so sick of looking at these people.
Okay, but hold
Chris
on.
Rock is going to. What about Eminem? Why can't we
Hold
get
on.
Eminem?
Because
All
he
the New York
enjoys his
celebrities-
privacy.
What about Bob Seger?
All the New York celebrities are not from New York. Some of them are from L.A.
Yeah, but you know what?
What about
Right?
Keegan-Michael Key?
We'll have
Come on.
J-Mo will be there. That's all you need.
And Dan Campbell, who was at the
What about
ACDC
Jared
concert.
Goff in the Kirk Cousins fashion line?
Right, straight from
yeah.
Kohl's.
Got that Coles cash, son.
It was going to expire.
You know, the guy that played Doug in The Hangover, he's from Michigan.
Is he? Okay,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
to know.
Must
By
be
the
real
way,
famous. You don't know his effing name.
Yeah.
He went to West Bloomfield High School. I have
guy
no
that
idea what his
played
name
Doug.
is.
Was that
By the
The
way,
guy that was stuck on the roof.
it's a big game down here at Little Caesars. Did you guys know that tonight?
They're winning,
big
Bob.
Game.
They're winning.
No, wait, is this a money back guarantee?
No, I
this is a front page, back page, middle of the page.
Above the fold.
Right.
I just feel like they're winning. I don't think Hart and Brunson are healthy, and I'm taking a shot. They're winning.
How about Mike Valeni repays all the bats that don't hit if the Pistons
No.
lose? Like a stress-free bat.
Well,
What is that?
Yeah, sorry, no. How about you repay Rico Beard for all the money you owe him?
I did already.
Scumbag.
I will say this,
I
Michael.
still owe him 2 suppers.
The atmosphere should be great. It should give the Pistons a boost. The thing that makes me a little nervous is the team that lost the previous game in this series usually comes back with their hair on fire. And you would think the Knicks would have their hair on fire.
Right,
Thibodeau's
but
going to have his hair on fire.
unlike other shows, we can't do let it play out radio. We have
We're
an
going to let
opinion.
this play out and see.
Well,
I see both
after I
sides.
see the first quarter, I'll be ready to give you an opinion. That's not how this works.
I'll let you know when
Rico,
it's
I
5 minutes to go.
And I heard Mike say this, and I think I said it too. If Tom Thibodeau shaves his head, I feel the Knicks will win
Would
the
you leave the
championship.
man alone?
If he comes out with a shaved head,
Rieger,
they're going to score 150.
Or if he just realizes, wait, I can call a timeout and get my stars back in the game.
Well, there you go.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he had one. He was trying to save it.
I mean, it worked for the Chicago
Who wants
Bears
Hart
in
and Brunson
Thanksgiving.
in the game anyway.
So you guys will take people up to Pistons basketball with
Oh, yeah.
Pistons
Yes.
basketball,
It's
correct?
a big game.
People
Wojo
are like
Damas.
literally hitting on the doors trying to get in here. It's a whiteout, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, it is?
It is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You got to wear those T-shirts.
I'm wearing dark. Yeah, we'll be here up until game time. Big game tonight, by the way.
Thank you. Okay, that was about
We saw
NC
Clyde
State
Frazier
football
down in the
helmets.
media room.
Okay, everybody enjoy the game.
Woo!
Rico's.
Bye, guys.
All right, we're out. We'll see you.
Happy